Hey, thanks for joining us here on this Thursday afternoon. I'm 9 News meteorologist Chris Bianchi with the detailed look at your Colorado weather forecast once again. And you probably didn't need me to tell you this, but it's really hot and it's very dry outside. It kind of feels like stepping inside of a hairdryer right now outside with those temperatures in the mid to, in some cases, upper 90s on the eastern plains. A bit of a breeze as well. That's kind of adding that just extra dry component or feel to things outside at this point. And unfortunately, we're not expecting a whole lot of relief for tomorrow, but by the weekend should get a little bit better, or a little bit. So I wouldn't exactly hold your breath there. But meantime, looking outside right now here in Denver, and we've got a fair bit in the way of sunny skies, a few cumulus clouds popping up overhead. Those will kind of thicken on up over the next couple of hours. We do have just enough monsoonal moisture, the mid to high levels. We'll probably see some clouds, maybe some gusty winds, and that is pretty much it. I don't think we even get storms today at all, but we're looking at mostly, again, just some of those dry conditions. Fort Collins, same idea. You might notice just a bit of haze off in the distance. That is due to some ground ozone and even a little bit of wildfire smoke from the Pacific Northwest of Canada. Oh, look at that there on the right. There you go. Is that a bee? Or that was a bee. That was indeed a bee. That rhymes too. That makes it extra fun on this Thursday afternoon on the right-hand side of your screen. And let's see if that bee will come back here to Fort Collins. It is staying away. But meantime, near record heat for this afternoon. A bit windy, a little breezy, windy at times for us this afternoon. And then isolated storms for tomorrow. Probably better chance for Sunday, Monday. So yeah, that would perhaps disrupt some of those outdoor plans for your Labor Day weekend. But for the most part, it's looking pretty a-okay for the 3 days of the Labor Day holiday weekend. Air quality alert in place until 4 o'clock. So the next couple of hours, I'm fairly certain that this will get extended into tomorrow. So this right now only runs till 4. I would anticipate this running till at least tomorrow, if not through Saturday and Sunday. A-sheet operator right now is pretty quiet, but could see 1 or 2 of those showers and storms develop, as I mentioned. Just enough of that monsoonal moisture in place that we will get some of those storms develop. Here in Denver, our main threat will be a brief burst of gusty winds, and that is pretty much it. We'd get maybe a little rush of 30, 40, maybe 50 mile an hour winds. You might notice it and go, what's that? It's because of those gusty winds that are going to try and push the way on through. Otherwise, just some increased clouds for the afternoon. So there's a look, 5:30, 6 o'clock. Again, some winds around, some clouds around, maybe a spot shower in a few spots, but for the most part, it's just gusty winds that we'll have to deal with. Temperatures, 94 right now. That's the real story. It's so hot outside. 99 for our friends in Pueblo, even at 10,000 feet for our friends up in Leadville. 71 toasty degrees at 2 p.m. here on the final day, by the way, final day of August, and therefore meteorological summer. Tomorrow is the start of meteorological fall. Meteorologists, we measure the seasons by full month because it's for equal climate keeping. Just because astronomical seasons, start of summer was June 22nd, but some years it's June 20th, other years it's June 21st, and so keep that equal. Meteorologists, we measure the seasons by the full month. So tomorrow is again meteorological fall. Today 97 isolated gusty winds after about 3 o'clock. 90s on the eastern plains. It is toasty out there, and 70s and 80s into the high country. Already our 32nd day at 90 or above so far this calendar year here in Denver. And by the way, also our 14th day at 95 or above. And that 95 number, that's pretty close. It's about our long-term average is about 13 days at 95 or above and we're at 14 now. So we're a bit closer to average in terms of when we're talking about those 95-degree days, which kind of means we've had a lot of really hot days, not as many, or at least as we're accustomed to of late, as many of those kind of just medium hot days, those low 90s days. We just haven't had as many of those, either been kind of cool and wet or very hot. For tonight, mid-60s for us. Tomorrow, mid-90s once again, so similar to today, and it's going to be a bit on the breezy side at times with those 90s and 100s for tomorrow afternoon out on the eastern plains, and the 70s and 80s into the high country. Big ridge high pressure, we're kind of on the western fringe of that. If you kind of look at this map for a second and you see the direction the arrows are going around the H and the L on your screen there, that's your hint. If you kind of draw it out around Colorado, what that means is we're getting a pretty good southerly flow into Colorado. Again, that counterclockwise flow around the low and clockwise flow around the high. That means we're drawing up winds out of the south. And this time of year, a southerly wind tends to mean shower and thunderstorm chances because it's monsoonal moisture. Remember, the monsoon is just a shift in the wind direction. So when you're getting a southerly wind, you're tapping into moisture out of the Pacific and out of the Gulf of California. And the result is that we're going to have some showers and storms for us here into the high country tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. So if you're heading up, you're doing some camping, you're spending some time, or you're joining us from the high country altogether, just keep in mind that tomorrow afternoon, I think we're going to have a better chance at those afternoon showers and storms just because of what I was mentioning. That monsoonal wind will draw up that moisture and lead to some of those showers and thunderstorms. And we could see several hundredths of an inch of rain, nothing too crazy, but some of that rain will be a bit more pronounced for tomorrow compared to today. Temperatures, 90s for the next couple days. If you're looking for some cooler weather, maybe a few storms to cool you on off, if you get it, you'll get it by the back half of the weekend and into the earlier part of next week. That's when those temperatures drop back into the mid-80s for highs. And it looks like to me at this point the best chance for an afternoon shower storm will be on Labor Day itself, but both Sunday and Monday looks like we'll have those storms around again both of those days. Drought conditions, well, this is the newest drought monitor that's just in, and severe drought in place for a little bit of the San Luis Valley. Otherwise, we're still seeing some of those drought conditions out across the western slope and the San Luis Valley. Should note that we did see some slight improvements in the drought in southern and southwestern Colorado over the last week because of some of those showers and storms that we dealt with back last weekend and the end of last week. But long story short, we're still dealing with some dry conditions in the western slope, the San Juans, and the San Luis Valley in particular. So top line takeaways: hot today, hot tomorrow. It does start to gradually cool on down by the weekend, and widespread more widespread showers and storms by Sunday. And at this point, it looks to me like probably Monday will have the best chance. So Labor Day, just keep that in mind. You get that barbecue for your Labor Day. Could be dealing with some storms, but most likely, I'd say even for Labor Day, we're talking about maybe 30-40% odds for storms. Most of us probably end up staying dry, even on a potentially stormy-er Labor Day. So hopefully it gives you a good idea about what to expect. We've got Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin getting ready for 9 News at 4, just behind that TV screen, somewhere over there, and at 5 o'clock as well. And then we'll have meteorologist Danielle Grant in at 6, 9, 10 tonight on the 9 News Family Networks, tracking all this weather for you here on 9 News and on 9 News Plus. Once again, I'm 9 News meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus. Have a great rest of your Thursday.